After years of speculation, the moment has finally arrived. Creative Assembly has announced Total War Medieval 3. Expectations could hardly be higher, especially considering that the series has been struggling for several installments. With this announcement, an immediate question arises. What has Total War actually become? And how much has the series changed since Medieval 2 in 2006, the installment that so thoroughly captivated fans? We now look at what we already know about Medieval 3 and how the series has developed, improved, and in some ways deteriorated over the years. The new trailer gives only a glimpse, but those early impressions already hint at what we can expect. According to the first official information, Medieval 3 is still in a very early pre-production phase. That means the release will likely be 3 to 5 years away. We should not expect the game any sooner. The developers emphasize that this time, they intend to accompany and communicate the development process transparently from the very beginning, similar to other companies that share information early, involve the community, and avoid the scenario where shortly before release, a hidden production process results in a product that the community rejects. Creative Assembly describes their vision for Medieval 3 as a major historical title that should offer far more than simply painting the map red through constant warfare. This suggests alternative paths to success, more strategic depth, more economic and diplomatic play, and greater freedom to build an empire without relying solely on military expansion. This direction may reconnect the game to the roots of earlier Total War titles. Although no specific starting year has been confirmed, developers strongly hint at a setting somewhere between the 12th and 15th centuries, the late medieval period, much like Medieval 2. Several exciting gameplay ideas have already been teased. One is dynamic recruitment based on medieval loyalty systems rather than static standing armies. Another is the introduction of regional structures outside the capital, harbors, quarries, small settlements, visible on the campaign map and attackable, bringing more life and complexity to the world than the traditional single settlement system. A beloved and heavily missed feature is the visual evolution of armor and units, made famous in Medieval 2. Units would change appearance as their equipment improved, instead of looking the same from start to finish. The developers seem aware of how important this feature is to fans. There will also be greater interaction with terrain and fortifications. The campaign map itself is intended to feel more dynamic and alive, offering more than marching a giant stack from one capital to another along predetermined roads. This shift suggests a return to a more immersive and strategic map design. A key highlight of the announcement is the introduction of the brand new WarCore engine, developed specifically for this title. It promises modern technical standards, DirectX 12, improved lighting and shadows, advanced visual effects, dynamic destruction thanks to Havoc physics, and a reworked AI. How well this AI will handle complicated tactical situations remains to be seen, but the hope is that it will finally surpass the questionable behavior of recent entries. Furthermore, the campaign structure is described as modular, improving replayability, and potentially laying the foundation for the future of the entire series, which has been faltering in recent years. As we consider Medieval 3, we must also address the current state of Total War. Over time, the series has changed drastically. A well-known American streamer who once focused exclusively on Total War publicly declared that he would no longer play or stream the franchise because of dissatisfaction with the direction Creative Assembly has taken. This sentiment mirrors that of many community members who feel frustrated with how communication, patches, and updates are handled. To understand why Medieval 3 inspires so much hope, we need to consider what fans feel the series has lost. Although Total War has become larger, more accessible, and visually more impressive, many meaningful mechanics have disappeared. One of the most missed features is the disappearance of true naval battles. In earlier games such as Shogun 2 or Empire, naval combat was integral, even allowing for land-sea interactions. In modern titles, naval battles amount to little more than abstract auto-resolve events. A return to genuine naval warfare would be a major victory for fans. Another lost aspect is flexible army structure. In older games, you could detach small forces for special tasks or move individual units freely. In the current system, everything is tied to generals. Players command only a few massive, expensive, inflexible armies. Defending a large territory becomes nearly impossible, and battles often devolve into clashing doomstacks without room for smaller skirmishes. The economic and trade system has also been simplified to the point of insignificance. Empire featured global trade networks with valuable goods and blockable routes, a true economic layer. Modern Total War titles reduce this to flat percentage bonuses, lacking depth or consequence. Similarly absent are visible unit evolutions, beloved in Medieval 2, improved armor and upgraded equipment that visually represented progression. Today, units remain visually static. Population and city development systems have likewise become shallow. Rome 1 had a rich population mechanic, but now provinces are rigid, simplified blocks lacking organic growth. Huge potential exists to reintroduce complexity in both settlement expansion and population management. The campaign map has also grown flat and empty. Gone are the watchtowers, forts, small outposts, and free infrastructure scattered across the landscape. Features that once made the world feel alive. The new engine might finally revive this idea. Older titles also excelled in agents and diplomacy, complete with charming cutscenes for assassinations, espionage, and political actions. Today, these systems rely solely on numbers with no personality, making them feel lifeless. Technology and espionage were once deep, competitive mechanics. Modern entries simplify them to wait 4 turns and unlock something, stripping them of strategic weight. Lastly, epic multi-stage sieges, central to Medieval 2 and Attila, have been replaced in newer titles with basic maps that lack grandeur and tactical depth. A renewed focus on interactive, immersive sieges could restore the emotional impact of medieval warfare. All these missing mechanics explain why Medieval 3 carries so much hope. Many of them could return through the new engine and the developers' expressed philosophy. Dynamic province structures reminiscent of old economic hubs, visible unit upgrades, havoc-based destruction enabling more complex sieges, and modular campaigns that enhance complexity and replayability, all of these hint at a revival of classic Total War strengths. In conclusion, Total War, Medieval 3 inspires major optimism within the community. It may revive long-lost mechanics while introducing entirely new possibilities through modern technology. Total War has changed dramatically over the years, often becoming more accessible but also shallower. Some improvements were made, but much was lost. Now, with Medieval 3, Creative Assembly may finally be ready to rethink and reinvent the series instead of relying on recycled designs and overly simplified systems. Perhaps we are standing at the threshold of the game fans have been requesting for years, one with strategic depth, medieval atmosphere, and the heart and soul of the classic titles restored. Only time will tell, as development will continue for years, with updates promised along the way. We will watch closely how Medieval 3 evolves.
Weight of pain.
End of defeat.
Greatness shall ever define us.
And we shall never
Be forgotten.
Forgotten.
So,
How will you
Shape.
your realm? How will you
Make history.
make
history.
make history?